time ago, in the days of black and white, a new form of storytelling was born. Known at the time as flickers, these simple 5 to 10 minute shorts would quickly evolve into lavish productions that laid the foundation for modern cinema. And the names of those who pioneered the format would be remembered for generations of fans to come. But for every name like Buster Keaton or Clara Bow, who are known over 100 years after beginning their careers, there are also those who, while not forgotten, don't share that same level of recognition. Many are remembered as simply a product of their time, and, if they're lucky, only a fraction of their work has survived. Among them was an actress who, like many of the era, began with a career on the stage and transitioned to the movies, an actress who'd worked in more than 300 movies throughout her career, mind you, and who'd be nicknamed by fans as the Biograph Girl, and who'd also become Hollywood's first movie star. Her name was Florence Lawrence. The actress who'd be remembered as Florence Lawrence was born Florence Annie Bridgewood in Hamilton, Ontario on January 2nd, 1886. Her mom, Charlotte, was an actress who immigrated to Canada following the Great Famine in Ireland and was the owner and leading lady of the Lawrence Dramatic Company, and was also known on the stage as Lota Lawrence, hence where Florence would adopt the last name later on in her film career. At the age of only 3, she'd make her theater debut with her mom, and soon, she was performing with the whole company and was a smash hit with audiences. It was at this point where she earned her first nickname of Baby Flo the Wonder Child. And while she loved performing for audiences, she understandably was not a fan of the constant traveling from town to town. Eventually, Lota moved her family to New York, and her daughter was given a chance to achieve a stable education, and upon graduating, she would return to the stage with her mom after she disbanded her company. The duo were fascinated by the quickly developing film industry, and in 1906 caught the eyes of Thomas Edison's studio and made their film debut in Daniel Boone, Pioneer Days in America. Shortly thereafter, Lota returned to the stage while Florence went on to work with the Vitagraph Company. It's worth noting here that despite rising through the ranks quickly, Lawrence, like other actors at this time, was not credited in her roles at all. Simply put, the studios didn't want to pay actors for their work, and they figured as long as they were anonymous, they could get away with not valuing the time of their workers. Despite this, she was making $20 a week at the company, though this salary was also coming from her working as a costume seamstress. It was also during this time, though, that she caught the eyes of fellow Vitagraph actor Harry Salter and director D.W. Griffith from Biograph Studios. The duo had been looking for a leading lady for Griffith's new movie, The Girl and the Outlaw. Lawrence convinced them that she was the right choice and won both the role and a salary of $25 a week just as an actress. And between the years of 1908 and 1909, she kept herself pretty busy, moving to Biograph Studios, marrying Harry Salter, and working in over 60 films for Griffith alone, on top of becoming a fan favorite among new fans of the cinema. And since studios still refused to release the names of their actors and actresses, Lawrence would get her iconic nickname from fans of the Biograph Girl. Another company joining the ranks was the Independent Moving Pictures Company, or IMP for short, the owner being the man who'd eventually form Universal Studios, Carl Laemmle. Looking for new ways to gain recognition, he came up with a plan. Signing Lawrence and her husband to the company, he created a fake story stating that Lawrence died in a car accident, only to announce that she was alive and well, and was also to star in IMP's new movie The Broken Oath, which was directed by Salter. Now, was this stunt a little bit messed up? Yes. Yes, it was. But did it work? You bet it did! Making a public appearance in St. Louis, Missouri, Lawrence found a prosperous couple of years working as Hollywood's first publicly named actress.
Glances, baby, I'm your romance.
In 1912, Florence and Harry formed the Victor Film Company. Part of a deal they made with Lumley, it would soon become part of the new Universal Studios in just a few years. But for now, the duo enjoyed creative liberties and skyrocketing salaries, with Lawrence making $500 a week and Soldier making $200 a week. And aside from her acting career, she's also been credited with inventing the first auto signaling arm for cars, which would evolve into the modern turn signal, along with the first mechanical brake signals as well. It really must have felt like the good times would never end for her. But sadly, they eventually did. And fast. While filming the movie Pawns of Destiny in 1914, a series of stunts went terribly wrong and Florence suffered serious burns, along with a fractured spine. Universal refused to pay for her medical bills, and though she continued working, the situation strained her relationship with them. It was also this point that marked the beginning of the decline in her career, where she began to get reduced to minor roles and eventually was back to being uncredited in her work. Through the 20s, she'd also experienced personal loss with the death of her husband Harry Salter on March 2, 1920, and her mom Lota on August 20th, 1929. It was also in that year that the stock market crashed and Florence lost her entire fortune. She tried multiple comebacks, different business ventures, but nothing came through. She wasn't even able to make money from her auto signaling arm and brake signals since she never got patents for them. Her physical health also took a turn for the worse when she was diagnosed with myelofibrosis, a rare bone disease, leaving her in a state of mental and physical pain. Fortunately, Florence was able to find work at MGM along with other silent film stars during the 30s. Unfortunately, these stars were considered old-timers, only paid $75 a week, and were still uncredited for whatever work they did. No matter how hard she tried or who she worked with, she was never able to reach the status or feel the success she once held just a few decades earlier. On December 28, 1938, Florence Lawrence called MGM saying she was too ill to come in. After this, she drank a bottle of ant poison, and though her neighbor found her and called an ambulance, doctors were not able to save her. Florence Lawrence, Hollywood's first movie star, committed suicide at the age of 52. Buried in Hollywood Forever Memorial Cemetery, her grave remained unmarked for 53 years until 1991, when an anonymous donor paid for a marker that reads, Florence Lawrence, the first movie star. Like the majority of silent films, much of her work is unfortunately lost. What is left, however, does show the talents of an intelligent leading lady and an actress who's slowly but steadily becoming remembered through time and is now getting the respect that she deserves.